I have a controversial, complex character.
As a woman, you have to be complex and controversial because it comes with purpose. Do you think me looking the way you've now seen me twice, and the way I post, that's what I do, even if I go out to the shops. That's my neighborhood knows me to be that weirdo. But do you think everybody started off liking me? Especially people like me, or that have things that they relate to me, and then they question, why is she doing that? Why would she? I can't direct my access to happiness based on their choice of life, and you shouldn't too.
I get that, but
because I tell you, I give you feedback, and I'm a people's person. You've got great charisma. There's something that's very intriguing about you.
Okay.
There's like what women represent. It's like you're a walking cat, and it's like people have to figure out what's going on in your head, and then
people do that. Guys always say like, I can't figure you out. Don't figure me out, just love me, eh?
So many people question the platform, but because it's the same people that questioned me though later on, is an essence that is necessary and is a God-given gift which will bless them and activate them. Is what I think.
Yeah,
but it's not easy. Being in a shoe where you have responsibility with your being, because we're in difficult times and change shall come, but it will come through people.
It's interesting what you said about being a being and having responsibility. I think there's so many content creators and so many artists that make a certain type of music, and obviously there's going to be backlash for everything. No matter what you do, people are going to complain. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes certain artists make certain music that might seem derogatory for main population, most of the population. Maybe it's be sex, drugs, and violence. Just a second, and then they feel like, oh, I don't have a responsibility. I'm just making my art. I'm just making my music. And I feel like when you get to a certain level of influence, you do have a responsibility. And I just feel like even though I have certain views, and I'm on my own healing journey, and I'm not perfect, but just being myself and just telling my unsolicited opinion, that's sometimes immature because I'm also immature. That sometimes maybe not what people want to hear. Sometimes maybe not be so progressive because nobody is just progressive. But I think it's scary. But I do have a responsibility of not just being myself.
Of not just being yourself.
Yeah.
I think you have a responsibility of being yourself. Because whoever, just like when you have your parents, and I hope, and I trust you have a good relationship, because otherwise we wouldn't speak like that.
With my parents?
Like that you have a good relationship, I hope.
With who?
With your parents, just because of what I'm about to say, sorry.
Okay.
Because it could obviously be very controversial, because we have such a wide spectrum of experiences as people. To be just point blank relatable is an odd thing to expect. So I'm not expecting it, but I trust, because otherwise I wouldn't feel like saying it. Because I don't want to tap on your trigger.
No, you can't. No, I'm not like that.
Yeah, but we've been there, which is why we question our actual who we are. So if we take responsibility in that, in being who, just like our parents, we trust that they are proud of our essence overall when we grow up with them. Then we understand they just wanted us to be ourselves and do the best way, but they can only provide in a certain manner. That's them being human beings. If you think of your creator, who's created everybody, there's a strong sense of intention that's been placed with every of his children. Every single one. The way one's tendencies are, the way one's dreams, gifts, do's, likes, that there's a purpose. But to have that experience, and I love to say muscle memory, of seeing what that takes you to, that's so rare. Because people always live to get a good response. But you get a response by someone you don't even understand how deep they're in that. You might be here to bless them. But how do we take that responsibility?
It's true, like, in a sense of like people live to get a good response, but then I also feel like there's a trend of like acting like I don't care what anybody thinks. But then we need to find a balance between the good response part and the being authentic.
Do you think that's what I'm doing? No, just from where we have met now. Do you think I really don't care for people?
No, of course you care for people, but I think you are really unapologetically yourself.
but I've become. I'm also, and I'm going to say it, I know women are not meant to say it, but I'm 38.
Wow.
So I'm proud.
That's crazy. I'm going to do a close-up to her face because this woman is not 38.
And 4 children. No lie told. But if you really choose yourself and you choose with good intentions and genuine, you will not age that miserable, because you will surrender to your nature, who you know is only trying to bless. And with that intention, however, don't worry, people are going to fantasize now, but that's the world we're in, girl. No, but knowing that intention has always prevailed and actually always elevated me from having such random opportunities given that was not normal. I've understood what normal actually is for me, and it's a responsibility that I have to complement, because people deserve to be as free as I am, and I've lived a very restrictive life. Because
have you?
I'm Eritrean. Like, as an African woman having 4 children with an African man, there is places we have to dip so we can be real with it, not to judge, but to actually have insights about things we're meant to be speaking on. If we are then sharing freely, we come with some, not just leverage, but with some know-how, not from a book, from the actual God-given experience that we... If you have a muscle memory like that constantly, you're fine. You will not regret possible maneuvers, because you just did what you came to do, and it didn't have an intention of trying to break somebody. But if that is what's gonna make them, then I don't mind having that uniform, because over like long term they will come to realize. And so far I've always lived to trigger without even knowing, and people came around later and I didn't even know they went through all of that. I was not aware.
Was not aware of what?
Like, you know, when you've got close people and they keep you so close because you're so intriguing. I've been that from day one, because you come with purpose as a child, very, very raw. People can tell, right? And then you have your experience to create the platform of unlearning you're going to do as an adult. So in that time, I was taught by culture as a woman, my gifts are there to be served only, not to be placed towards me. It's just something where you live to serve, which I came full circle to actually understand I am living to serve. But
the full circle part,
my fulfillment of who I came to be, that is pure service. And me being in bliss and doing things so effortlessly, I find, and so like just attracted and repelled. I'm not even doing anything. I'm just being myself, and there's a strong shield I feel one gets. You don't have to pick up any outside source to have any understanding of where you are with something. Because it's quite clear. If you're clear, life will be clear. We hear about this mirror, about this reflection. If you take it serious and you look at your life and you say, well, this is what it is, so where is that reflecting? And you be honest and you give yourself grace that if you knew, you would have done it differently, but because you didn't know, you're just on your way to know. And you still look fine, and you're still young, and you're still safe to do that. But you have to be your safe space to initiate and get some muscle memory in those places. Because people, I feel like people just talking the talk because they heard some wise man. And the wise man is detached and trying to make money. So I feel like...
Wise man?
Wise, like, you know, we're all intentional beings. So like sometimes I'll serve to share something with you that you're meant to take and maybe share to somebody else. And it's like we are one in the movement as a people. But we also one in the movement as learning, and intentionally balance will be birthed. Right? With the times, with I could be talking forever because I will not make sense. Like with a little snippet, but the things I have come to understand because I've shut down from so much external wisdom. And I just had no choice because I was raising 4 children, home educated.
So can we start a little bit from the beginning?
Please,
also,
me.
A little disclaimer, I get up every few minutes to check if I'm still recording because it's just us here. There's no cameraman, just a tripod and my phone. So I just want to make sure I'm still recording because
Do that.
my phone be cutting off and all sorts.
Don't worry,
yeah.
girl.
I'm gonna do that now. Oops.
I do this, but you notice that time.
Yeah. Hey, we're still in this. Perfect.
All right.
So, what I want to ask you is like,
can I say this one thing?
Yes.
Attach it to the other part.
Yes.
When I have to recognize the fact that I had a nice isolation from media life, not just media life, but mainstream commercial life, because I have been privileged to isolate myself in the world of motherhood, completely detached from anything that's normal, just like in my style. But as a mother, it was just crazy and very in it, like it was a bubble where I just didn't do anything anymore when it comes to making money. It was just all about the children. We changed our diet. We just went above and beyond, but now with children. And in that time, I was able to tap into myself with a consistency and a period of time that I think you don't normally are given the time to do that in this day and age, because you have to make the money, you have to deal with this. I was literally detached from anything. Even during COVID, we were in the bubble. Nothing actually of that sort existed because the mind didn't attract that. So I've come to learn so much. So now being in an era of my womanhood, I've got a different muscle memory to it. And I understand it's a privilege because of who I am as a spirit or who I am as a woman and what I came to do. But I'm not competing. It's like we're here in service to inspire and activate, because I've been inspired and activated by powerful women. I feel inspired by you. I feel activated by you. This is the first platform that I felt, let me go and do that, because I feel this is like I respect her. I feel respected. I've seen enough. I've been guided to watch it. Why not? Yeah. Why would I be scared that now something would stifle us in bringing awareness and feeding into or nourishing into love, unity. Yeah. I have this word, I found out about it yesterday again. It's in my culture word called me'adi, and it means the act of gathering to receive nourishment. And in Eritrea, in Ethiopia as well, you eat from the same dish.
I love that.
Like, it doesn't matter how many people are in a room. On
the same dish.
You usually get fed as well by someone's hand. And there's a child.
No,
girl, wait, you have a child that comes with some water and soap and fresh water and towels and just makes the round. And everybody washes their hand. It's a ceremony. It's a ritual, because you don't question trust. You don't question love. You just gathering to nourish. And the women or who's cooking is serving for the gathering, not for everybody individually, and then differentiating who they all are. It's the same plate. And you just top it up. And it's normal. And people feed each. The level of trust in this word that I associate with the word ma'adi, I say it in a very way that everybody can say it. In my culture, you'd say ma'adi, where it's like, we have sounds, linguistics that also activate. And it's important to use
what
these
I love
mantras.
About African languages. They've got drum and bass.
They've got mantra.
They've got what's it called? They've got bandwidth.
Oh, we as a people have that.
Yeah,
and that's where we connect. That's art, words.
Yeah, there's this. Yeah, we have that. We have bandwidth just generally as spirits. And I always there's this question in the card game. I'm gonna get it out in a second.
Oh yeah.
Because we're gonna link some of our conversations to the questions in the card game. But there's one question that's asking, "What's your favorite black privilege?" And I'm it's for me, it's like this bandwidth. It's so hard to explain, but it's just
a yo-yo effect we have.
It's a soul thing. I can't explain that. When you go somewhere and you see a black person and there's only white people, there's this look you give each other. Some people try to deny that look. Some people trying to be I'm not. But that you're gonna give me that look, and we're gonna have that second, and we're gonna know
us coming from
it's just this connection we have with each other.
I hear you.
It sometimes these days can turn into a love-hate thing, but it's still a love thing more than anything else. And it's something I can't put into words.
I hear you though. But I feel like us coming from where we come from, because born in Germany and coming from a dominated, strong culture. There's it's also a difference. It's a strong, proud culture that they have.
The Germans, Austrians, they do, and they're so.
But coming from there, and surviving that, as in the identity, is a flex for one. Coming into an environment where that's not being questioned, but if we are put in that context, we have a flex that a lot of people who don't have had to have a harsher experience. They don't have to flex. So if we can see that in duality, a harsher experience is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it will give you a flex, and it will take somebody. Like, I am grateful for all the people that have offended me. I'm going there. They have offended every person, and there is no culture to who has not offended me, but every person that has, and there's a lot of love I'm getting, but those individuals back home or here that have tried me, I'm so grateful for them, because I wouldn't have tapped into that wisdom. I love people too much for that. I wouldn't have understood the psychology of how deep one can get, because I'm not like that. That's a privilege. That's a blessing that I don't have to have that experience to learn that, because I think they can get there. I think they were genuine as well, but they don't have that flex. And that's okay, because as a mother, having boys and girl, I know that they will go through hardships. I cannot judge them for that. I have to give them grace so they learn how to give themselves grace. And once I learn to do that with myself, then I can hold their space to do it. Once they can do it, and they can go out and do it for other people, young and old, because they're also doing activation for adults, because they are learning and they are not competing with me.
Yeah.
So once I can do it with them, then I can do it with you. When I can do it with you and everyone that I connect with, and that's the deepest part, then I can possibly also do it with the man on my side. Because there's levels.
Okay. Let's not, I think we jumped a few, because one thing that I would like to know, more things, but the main thing, and I think we haven't really got to speak about that yet. Okay. But one thing I want to talk to you about is, when you came, when we met the first time face to face, was at the Black Culture Market. Shout out to Black Culture Market.
Can I bring it back? Wait, but we are living to be a walking brand of authenticity, promoting our people. Whoever our people are, sometimes it's the Germans are my people, but most of the time, majority of time, it's my African Black people or just us melanated people. I love us.
Yes.
And I love that I met you there. It shows me it's a safe space.
And we then both realized that we speak German. And it's funny because when we speak with each other, we never speak German, because I don't love German. I barely speak it.
I don't. I like. It's a flex.
Yes, kind of.
I'm overcoming feeling tainted by it, because it's actually not doing anything to me.
It's not doing anything to me, and but it's just speaking a second language fluently is a flex. It's not a flex, it's a blessing.
Let's see it like that.
Let's forget blessing. Let's forget flex. Let's say it's a blessing to be bilingual, and it's also the benefits it has to the brain in terms of processing information and stuff. So we're not gonna say.
But if it's a blessing, then we shouldn't speak bad on it.
No, I'm just saying I don't like speaking it. I don't love speaking it. I find it complicated. You can say one sentence with 3 words in English, and it takes me 7 words in German. I don't have the time.
But in the same time, sis, in the same time, it gives me an in-depth understanding of the culture I'm living in. Because it shows you how, let me be wise with how I choose my words. Because every time you oppose something that's different from you, we have to try and allow that still to be intentional by the creator. It's still playing his role, and it's not actually trying to do no harm. I know not everything has to be our favorite, but to actually extend a lower frequency out when it's actually not attaching itself to us, that we have to understand why we do it. With people, with ourselves, with something that we have fantasized about, something that we have expectations on, and that's the self-work. When people speak about doing work on yourself, there's nothing to do with people, and it will detach you from people, but attach you for the right reasons.
Okay, let's
bring the
get
cards
into it. No. Before we get the card, I got the cards out already. But what I really wanted to get to is that we met at the Black Culture Market, and that we didn't really get much time to speak because I was speaking to people, as you know, communicating my product and stuff. And you too as well.
I was selling the
you was out there. You listen.
Girl.
You really came for me. You really
Why wouldn't I? Like, really, I'm authentic.
So heartwarming.
I'm not just playing.
You were like saleswoman there. You were like,
I wanted the cards. If I want them,
yes,
I would. I want to be able to play with everybody. That's what I want. This is not a one man's game.
No.
So I would have wanted the whole room to play that card. That was my aim. But you could have.
Yeah, maybe the next time
you could have given that to me to do, and I would have volunteered for the fun.
Yeah,
this is a blessing. My name comes out, your name comes out. Everybody gets to tap in.
Well, we should do something like that one time. I would like to have you help me create some content, because you're much more you're much more.
I have muscle memory.
You have more vibrancy than me.
But I have more muscle memory. That's it. There's no differences.
But you have more vibrancy, and I think that I'm happy to admit that. I'm just not a crazy vibrant person. I'm just more like.
But you may not be meant to. You may have your.
I don't think I am. No.
But you don't have to. It's like we are told that we have value if so. Stop listening to that.
And that's something I realized through my journey of sobriety. So I stopped drinking, and drinking was a big part of my life. It's culturally a thing through Austria, but in England as well, it's a big thing.
Too, girl.
It's like a big thing. It's part of our culture in the West, especially. And through sobriety,
I say it's also part of the culture back home. But there's a different mannerism.
It's a European culture.
There is no ceremony, there's no ritual to it. It's just down it.
Oh, is it in Africa? Oh, in African countries.
We all have our shots.
That's true. But I think here is more a base of the culture. I think there's certain still parts like within Nigerian culture. I know Nigerians can drink their beer and stuff, but it's not the same like in Europe. And I think there it's also more like a thing where it's not something you do proudly. Here it's like a proud thing. I'm drinking. I'm 16. I'm drinking.
It's just we're here in the Western Hemisphere where we are overwhelmed with labels. That's what it is.
So what I wanted to say is that I used to think, like you mentioned before, that I had to be this like vibrant, super confident, life of the party. Every time when you're around me, you're gonna have a good time, and like this kind of like was this image that I thought I had to have of myself. Not like an image like I'm the coolest, but more like I wanted to be this like person that kind of also society tells as a woman you should. I don't know if it's a woman thing or a human. It's just I wanted to be this like certain type of woman, and then I had to like drink to be that person, because to be like open, talking to everyone, doing jokes, being confident. And then when I stopped drinking, I realized that's not me. And I've been trying to imitate that person, and what always happened is I would drink, become that person, become too much of that person, and then when I'm sober, I'm back to my normal self. And that these two opposites of me being drunk and me being sober, there would be so much shame created within that.
As external shame more, right? That we feed into, I feel.
But also a shame of being not who I truly am, because my drunk self was like the opposite of my sober self.
I hear that.
And because when I was drunk, I thought this is where I'm going to get my confidence from. This is where I'm going to get the fun me from. This is where I'm going to get it all from. I never practiced all of those things being sober. So I was like completely lazy.
One thing, sis, because I can relate so heavily. When I say full circle, and you will make full circle. I'm not going to jump into it yet, but when you are drunk, right? Or when you are in that high, how do you feel about yourself?
I just feel great. Like I have the confidence. I feel like, I feel like it's also like an excuse to channel your disobedience to
unapologeticness.
And also I think it's also, I just realized as I said that it's an excuse to channel your disobedience to the rules. I was drunk. You know, it's like, you're not supposed to do X, Y, Z, but we're drunk, so fucking YOLO kind of
label
thing.
Where
but then given the consequence, you're still gonna have to face the consequences. But when you say, you were drunk, everybody accepts it.
I still have consequences because I'm that energy, not drunk now. And I used to be drunk, because in my spirit, I wanted to be who I am. In my spirit, I knew. So I had to take what the labels allowed me to tap into that. And then I was happy.
Yeah.
Right? There's people that get very, I sometimes I'm very angry too, but it's because it's in me. People will just hear this version when I was drinking. I had to come full circle to surrender, to give myself grace to have more muscle memory being myself. So when people come and try me, being honest, you can't deny that. If really, like, when I'm honest and it hurts, you may try and be spiteful, but the sense will leave the conversation. Because, and it's clear, and then you don't have to interact the same. You don't have to play ball, because you just said that I don't have anything else to say. It's fine. You know, then I can detach, because I just attached when it mattered. But it's like what society has put on women is just us, because we are all about unifying, all about harmony, about love for the children that then become adults, also men. You know, we're the first love. So how we will raise our sons.
And mother is the first
girl,
love
the
of a man.
Soil is mother.
Yeah.
Right? So we're walking on her every day. People are disrespecting her every day. Still, she will birth. And she will hold our space, however necessary.
Yeah.
Same as a being. Being that comes with responsibility, sis. And as a nation of women, we haven't done right by ourselves. So, having said that, sis, your spirit will always call for who you are. Because I can see that person in you.
What person?
That girl. That, like, there is no mistake in who you intentionally, visually are. It's very clear to see who you can be, but it's for you to bring that.
Yes,
you know?
Yes, and it took me to stop drinking to find my real confidence.
Yeah.
Because confidence is like a muscle. But if you only practice it when you're drunk, it's not doing the work. It's just doing the surface. The actual muscle of confidence. I was more shy when I was drinking than I am now.
Same.
And it took me really to stop drinking to own my personality. I wouldn't even know what is drunk me, what is sober me. Did I say that because I'm drunk, or did I say that because sometimes I used to use it because, you know, me, I have the strength of speaking.
Hey, the gift of speaking.
But it can go both ways. It can be a gift and a curse.
No, it's not. Never.
No. It's a gift, and for me, it's a gift and a curse, and I do have to be very careful about what I say.
I hear that.
And I know that when I was drinking, I used to be like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. And I'd be like, oh, I just said that because I'm drunk. I'll blame it on the drinking. And then now sometimes I'll be like sober and I'll say something. I'm like, oh shit.
Yes.
That's not me drunk. That's actually me. So it's like I'm getting to know myself.
But can you see that the drinking is not the curse? It's the not having muscle memory without. Are you drinking now?
No, don't drink. No.
Because I've stopped drinking for many years as well. And I come from like loving it. And I just stopped. And I enjoy myself. I'm like high energy in any way. But the confidence thing, that had to be worked on. And I couldn't have the same thing. Because there's a label out there where everybody's allowed to do that. Now,
but the drinking was definitely a curse. It's been a curse in my family for many generations, and I've witnessed
and it might be you breaking it, because I'm now coming full circle. I have my wine here, my cider. I'm not one to have rum and tequila and them things, because I used to, or vodka, Jesus. But I like the appreciative part to drinking.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make a difference how confident I am, because I've already now banked that muscle memory.
Yes, and it's never the drinking, it's never the drug, it's never the food, it's never the sex that's bad. It's your relationship towards it.
It's your mind,
It's your relationship that you have, and your whys, and your how.
But you're wise, sis.
No, I mean your why. Why
why?
You doing it? Yes. It's the why and the how. How much and why are you doing it?
The wisdom
That's what
lays in your
It's like
whys,
heroin.
sis.
If you was to take one shot of heroin once a year, that would be not a problem. No, I'm just saying.
I've never taken it.
Me neither, but I'm just saying if somebody was to take one injection of heroin
would that be fine
once
every
a
year?
You'd be fine.
I don't know.
But that's the crazy thing. That's why, but you can't because you get so addicted to it.
But you know, sis, even this topic now, because I have zero experience with chemical stuff. Like I have zero -5 experiences. Just because I'm naturally hype, I never looked. But it's been but I never even desired.
It was just an analogy.
Knowing that, it's a fearful place for me. Because if I ever, I'd be actually shit scared. But hearing what you're saying, I'm detached. I'm not competing. So I'm receiving that wisdom. And it's like, I'm going to take that because I don't actually have a physical experience and I respect you enough.
Me neither.
Oh, you don't also?
No, you think I've done heroin?
Oh, sorry. Look at not that. But maybe you know of people, like maybe you have hands-on experience of environment.
But it's just like a knowledge. It's just but it's just knowledge I know from like movies
so
or maybe I've watched a documentary.
To be honest,
no, I don't mind. I've never done any like I've done drugs, but not like heroin or anything.
Yeah.
But,
well,
that's mad. Come on. But I'm just saying.
No, but because I can't judge it. I don't know it.
No, but I watched like documentaries and I know scientifically things about it. But like I said, like there's a lot of people that die of it. But just because it's so highly.
But the same with alcohol. The same with other things, even with fast food.
Yeah,
there's people dying of it. There's even of arguments. That nourishment of arguments, me'adi, what I've spoken about, is a frequency you can receive. I'm going to birth that, guys. Just be patient with me. In music, in film, in podcast, like that, it should be a whole industry called me'adi, which people, if they go there, they know exactly what they're nourishing in. Because right now, people with high vibes and healing, creative products or things, they're scattered in an industry that's not healthy. We all know this, but we can't always find everybody. So if there was a place where a podcast like yours is actually stimulating, it's not going to be feeding into this or that, but you have to be like approved for it, if that makes sense. You know, there needs to be some psychology understanding of what is it you're doing so we can have a long-term exchange, because as people, we either way attract or repel for the right reasons, and we have to be honest about that. Otherwise, we're feeding into this not knowing, insecure, that where's our intuition? Everyone's got it. Everyone's got a gut feeling. Women on a different level, but everyone's got it. So when you feel right, you feel right. You should feed into that and walk with that. When you don't feel right, give grace, because there might be something's going to pop any second. Be ready, be respectful, give space for whatever that's meant to be, and then let go, detach, because you're not the person to take it wherever they're going to take it. Detach and then move on, because you're showing up intentionally as created. Every religion will high five you on this topic like that, because that's where faith comes from. You cannot be born to create mess, just mess. Like, why do we even feel desire for love then? Why do we want to birth? Why do we want to have a legacy? Why do we want to represent stuff? Why do we want to have fun? Why do we want to be beautiful? All these things have meaning, but you need to have the right muscle memory to get it and to be playful and enjoy it. Does that make sense?
What do you think? What do you mean with muscle memory?
Oh, I keep saying it. This word muscle memory, it better be a new word, because right now the things that are out there making money is misleading us as a people. I feel, because who's speaking it is just taking it out of the context and feeding into their personal excuse of why they're doing what they're doing. It's like you did with the alcohol. You gave yourself the room. You allowed yourself to do whatever in the name of alcohol, not in the name of the Almighty and your essence. You didn't take account. You were maybe not ready to have that conversation, but if you really are yourself, you will be ready, because you understand yourself with muscle memory, with practice.
Yes.
It's like reading. You don't know how to read unless you start with ABC.
And that's what I meant, is when my real confidence really came when I stopped drinking, because that's when I start training the muscle of confidence. Alcohol will just give you some surface level anyhow, but that's like, alcohol is like plastic surgery for confidence muscle memory. It's just like the sprinkle on top, but you don't actually have the strength behind it. And then every time when I was sober, I was so insecure, because it has to balance out. When you go overconfident, you're gonna come back if you don't have the practice, if you don't have the muscle memory. So that was definitely an aspect of, and I've been doing things ever since I stopped drinking that I'm like, wow, that was really confident.
But you feel good about it.
I feel
yourself.
so good about it. Stop drinking was the best decision I could ever make in my life.
You can do that learning, that muscle memory when it comes to man. When it comes to sisters. Yes.
Well, the drinking helped with the man thing as well.
No, because, but there is something maybe that you have been constructing yourself, which had created a repetition. If you're honest with yourself, you give yourself the grace because you try, just like him or like her, or like brr. There's a whole different beautiful, they call it self-love. All these names are out there, but people have been abusing its meaning for the name of business. I don't even know. I can't tell you, because as a woman, I feel degraded of how essence is constantly marketed, like made like they try and package it up and then taint the ones that are doing the work. It's always been done. Like if it's Black movements, the feminism, religious, like the fact that there are like people that are repelling religion is because they're not heard, they're not acknowledged, and they're not given grace, because it is mad out there. Some people can tell you stories, you'll be like speechless. And just because it's not been you, people feel free to feed into the disrespect. You're not like, it's a continuation that keeps us more and more and more separate. But we women, we are always connected. I know we have our ups and downs, but every woman will eventually find a place with another woman where we're like, you know what, leave that aside, because we're actually fine. I actually respect the fact that you have integrity and that you've got respect and that you can, like, we go there with each other.
You know what is interesting about, I was thinking about what are we going to talk about here, and there's just a few pillars that came into my mind that I would like to touch on. And one of them was something that I was aware of, and then sometimes something I am aware of, but recently, like one lady, actually, I think her name is Coco Pop Sweets on Instagram.
Pop Sweets.
Yeah, she commented it actually on my post, and it's something that, you know,
go on, tell me.
I have also thought about and think about, is that, and actually one guy I'm kind of talking to at the moment, he mentioned it today, but
you can if you want.
No, not really. But he's not gonna watch.
Not
this
here.
Anyways.
That's after.
He's not gonna watch it anyways. Yeah.
It's not for him. It's for us.
Oh yeah.
We exist. You exist for yourself first.
Yes. So basically, is that I have most of my interviews with men.
Yeah.
And
that's changing now.
Well, I try. I do make a conscious effort in life, because for me it's important. I'm doing that out of a place of alignment and authenticity.
Yeah.
I'm having this interviews with people I meet on my way.
Yeah.
I'm having this interview based on somebody I thought of in the shower.
Yeah.
I'm having this interview.
You're being intuitive.
You know, I'm just being intuitive. Yeah. I'm not really planning, okay, I'm going to have this, 3 women, 3 men. I'm just meeting people on my way, and then I have the conversation.
Can I be very transparent with you about this topic? Because I've observed that.
Yes.
But because I've become a person that doesn't judge anymore, I was very open to see for myself. So when I met you, I was like, now I can ask and see for myself.
Yes.
Because I felt there's a very dominant representation of man, a very specific type of man. Because there's some man you've interviewed, girl. I'm very questionable. But
Which one?
I'm not going to tell you.
No, please. Can you tell? I want to know.
But no, because I'm not a name dropper, and people know me to be like that.
I'm going to beep it out, but let me know.
But let me say that. Let me say that.
Yeah.
We are in a time where we are representing the man's world in the name of the masculine, solely masculine, which is our brain half, not man. Somehow it's got meddled up and sold. Women are valuable just in the feminine. Being such strong leaders, no, not the masculine. Men are only useful and valuable in the masculine, even though they're such emotional support, like they have the ability to raise children without that weird hormonal emotional weakness that we actually have with our children. We go through things in a different way. Like we get lost in trouble, while the man can be very on top of things and overseeing and guiding emotionally, fully aware. But the men are not meant to be feminine, like expressive. You're not emotionally intelligent. That's like that image that we are sold is where we had lost. You know, there's no way the creator would create an extension of him that's not allowed to have some leadership over what's been created. You know, there needs to be a match, because the soil, being mother energy, has so much wisdom that we can always tap into when we want, right? They say hug a tree, walk barefoot, la 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 la, right? The skies are the masculine, the sun, the clouds, all of that, that's coming to feed, to complement, right? The flow of the woman. But that's maybe in different days conversation, because when we met, I saw a very strong leader, which me right now being in my season of leadership, I love my feminine experience, because I'm a woman that loves the feminine side. A Virgo, I love to surrender to a strong man with ethic, morals, and a huge heart for the things that are God intended, godly, that are godly about us as a being. I love to surrender to that. Woo! But it's unheard of right now. And we have to be accountable for that, because they got to be able to match us. But first, we got to be that, right? Because they will, anyway, there's a different conversation. But I met you and we were interacting, and you were so interested in interviewing me. I'm a woman. I'm a woman's woman, right? There's women who say, I can't really get along with you because I just hang out with men. I used to be the same. I used to just have loads of...
I don't just hang out with men.
No, not you.
Yeah.
I had women who's so different from them. They said, oh, I'm not like you. I can't gel with every woman. Women are a certain way with me. That they already categorize themselves. But as women, we are mad flexible. We widen our spectrum of understanding if we are open for it. But if we're trying to score points in this man's world, we'll be a certain way. Now, I was questioning if you could have, maybe on your platform, you wanted to have an emphasis on the masculine because you are a feminine, and maybe a lot of women don't ask certain questions. It makes sense. But at the same time, I feel you deserve to be supported, because in a circle of men, what I kept seeing is like they were cornering you in their understanding. And because,
what have you seen though?
Because, let me just say this, because you are the interviewer, you can't really tap on people's toes like that. So if you had a woman there representing as women, detached from the fact that you have to be, you can't offend them and say how it is, because you have to interview them.
I find it so much easier to offend men than women. You know what? That's one part of it. I don't know. Because I was thinking about it today, because I actually spoke to the guy that I'm speaking to kind of at the moment. And he basically, I was saying, I'm going to an interview, and for once I'm actually interviewing a woman. And he's like, yeah, I was thinking about that. And I was like, oh, what? That I'm always interviewing men. And then he was like saying, yeah, I was thinking like, you should have women there as well. He said it in a, whatever, let me go into it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, because I generally, and that's something I noticed beyond filming content, that I just it
hasn't come your way yet.
I'm just apart from the fact that I want it to be aligned, and there's people I meet on the way, and it's mostly been
I think you're very aligned, because if I didn't see your platform with older men, I wouldn't have felt desire to come on your show and do this. I wouldn't have, because it's not just about me feeding in anybody's business, because I'm not anybody. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When you have got the muscle memory,
yes,
and you elevate and have self-respect beyond what's normal, and you recognize your responsibility, you will direct it where it's deserving, and it'll be a whole different interaction.
Yeah.
So I thought it's a deserving place for you to have a woman of my awareness.
Yes.
It's important to bring balance, because you are a woman who has that intention, and that's why I'm coming. That's what, because like I don't normally, that day with the Black Culture Market, let me say it right, Black Culture Market event, I don't normally just DM people I've never met and said, oh, where are you? I can't. No, I flow with the guide, but when it's very clear, like I may come across naive or whatever, but that's just me being with me. And then whatever comes, I have faith. And I know, like you called it. You called for it.
Yeah.
As a spirit, sometimes we have subconscious behavior, sis.
Yes.
We have subconscious behavior. Our conscious does not understand.
Yes, and I'm at the moment I'm really much into tapping into that. I'm always, there's this one sentence my mom told me when I visited her last time, and it sticks with me now. It's like, don't think, just do.
Hey, the thinking
like, so
is
many
consideration.
times I get like nervous about, should I reach out to that person, should I do this, should I do that. Don't think, just do. Obviously when it's like a negative, like there's things you need to think.
No, your mom knows,
you know what I mean, like,
and that's your genetic
think, just do.
That's your genetic. That's the closest wisdom you should listen to, because everyone else goes by an experience. You don't understand their ancestry to even understand why they would come like that. Sometimes our physical being, I said that they're very dear friend yesterday, sometimes our physical being has an ancestry and a culture that's meant to teach us, not identify, teach us. And then we've got a spiritual ancestry.
Yeah.
We come with missions.
Yes.
We come with intention. But that takes muscle memory to even consider. Like, you see it, all these legends, all these people that pushed through narratives and they lived, their legacies lived beyond it's because they were very intentional. They were very tapped in with their attention and purpose, because nobody could try them, but everybody did. Everybody tried them until they made the money. Once they made the money, people were like, well, now it's proven, now it's safe, let me now support you. You know what I mean? And most of the time, these people don't live no more because it was just too much to bear. Anyway, let's do the cards, because I love your cards.
No, but I want to know something about you first. Sorry.
About me?
I tried to get it the whole time.
Well,
but I want to know a little bit more about you being born into this world, into a family, and where you were raised, and when you came to London.
Like, my story says I can't keep that short because it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
It just would not make sense, which is why I am who I am at my young years. Like, everyone that has seen and known of me in my life understands, because I've been a confusion, a life, like, it's literally like a flickering, explosive thing to people, like unbearable almost. So I had to make peace with my individuality very, very early, and I can't keep that short, but it's been a mad one.
So what do you think is not really aligned to, you don't want to really talk about it now?
No, I could, but it will be a long one, sis, because that's like, I would not know which part to just go with.
Well, start from being born.
Well, are you sure?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Well, yeah, girl. Like, my life's been, I know, like, one day I will put it into paper, because people have offered to do that for them actually, because they wanted to have the money. But okay, let me start. I was born in the 80s, 85, in a time when there was a nuclear explosion in, like, just shortly after, in Moscow, Germany not far. So in the period of me being born as a spirit, the societal spirit was, I feel like, girl, the people that understand. It was a very intentional time for me to come through. And in my family, I'm the youngest of three from my parents. My dad had a son prior to my mom, who's not alive no more due to the war with Ethiopia, which my dad also took part in the same war. My life is very contradictory, because my dad, being Eritrean, he resided in Ethiopia and then was in the army for Ethiopia, and his family member, who was his extension of father, he was fighting for Eritrea, and my dad was sneaking in and out of the country to check up on his family's family, because they didn't know where the other part of the family. So just being open, coming from the get-go. So I was born as the only child in Germany. My siblings were born back home, like in the African soil. But my brother and me only have a year apart. So I had a very different overstanding of identity, because I was born on the soil. So when Germans tried me,
the parents flee from the war?
Yeah, sorry. Okay. Eritrea had a long war with Ethiopia to become independent. Please, people, do read up into it. So, because I don't want to feed into things, because I don't want to oppose my country or oppose my neighborhood.
Yeah,
because they have their own.
Not getting into the history lesson. Exactly, people do their own research.
But I have learned that my dad, who loves his country, had fought for Ethiopia because he also loves Ethiopia. So it's like you can't, like, anyway. So I was born in Germany. So anything I was tried
on. As a war
like asylum,
refugee, as a refugee,
proper refugee, just like it's happening now.
Did you go into one of the refugee camps?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So we connected to a community, a Eritrean community. Were you? I was born there, sis. I was
in a refugee camp.
I was born in Germany and then raised for the first few years in a refugee camp until we were given a property. Yeah. So my mom didn't speak German. I became the most German that there are Germans because I study people. So
where in German? Sorry,
is in Gießen near Frankfurt.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
goosebumps. This is a
girl.
This place.
I had bliss.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I was always me. I would always do me, right? Yeah. But anyway, so I grew up in Germany. Had a lot of German friends. I was very German in Germany. I was embracing Germany. And I know that my family and people like me were very secluded too, like the foreigners. You know, like there was the Turkish community meddling, the Armenian community, there was
like Czech.
They were all together, but I was with Germans. But I was free, detached from what people were attached to. But I was also born on the soil. So I did not feel that I didn't belong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I live here. I was born here. There's no difference. I speak better German than you. I don't know what you're talking about. So I just completely detached. So it taught me how you can actually navigate, fake it till you make it kind of thing.
But did you feel like you were faking it or you just felt apart?
Since I was a child, you know how we just innocent in the experience as a child. And in that time, I was being protected and educated about Germany and Germans because there was a lot of German parents that became my parents. I love my elders. Like I would have Sunday dinners. They would have specific dishes just because that was our thing. Like I became the extended child, which for them sometimes
from your friends' parents or something like that.
Who was white. And I don't think they were so open to Africans. I believe now, I'm going to say it, because once I became real African, they opposed me. And they questioned that. So I had to surrender to what I had to take accountability on because I was not being authentic enough to challenge what they actually, I didn't see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, yeah. But it's an honest one. And then I have to give them grace because they don't know.
I find it very difficult. I still have a chip on my shoulder with Austria.
Especially having children. When you try me while I have my child on my hand, you will see a different side to me. Now there's a different value to me thanks to my children. And now I've got muscle memory, sis. That was a rhyme, actually.
Okay. Well, sorry. So you
grew up there. I went to school. I was a brilliant student. Whatever the schools say, I was a brilliant student. I got medals in my primary school for being the best student of my year as the only Black. Actually, there was one brother once joined me from Kenya a bit later, but I was slaying. My intelligence was on a different level, right? And then I went to the year 5 and I started to dance. I started getting into performing arts and creativity. And I lost myself in that. Like academics became so baseless. I didn't see the point of it. I was just questioning why everybody wanted me to be so specifically the way that, like my dad taught me.
Your dad was in Germany and your mom.
So yeah.
Grew up in a 2-parent household.
Yes. Okay. Very culturally committed family. Whatever you go through, every family's got this backpack, right? And our backpack was heavy, but they worked their backsides off to make sure there was a complete picture, which I see now they sacrificed a lot as well, which has not only taught us right when it comes to self-worth and dignity, but we come to that.
Especially in European countries as Africans.
As that one. And how isolated it is for them as an experience because they don't have the elders to do anything with them. So I have served as like a light in my family as well, which has always triggered. I've always been a weird, like, how dare you take that audacity to, you're the youngest, there's always that shaming that I had to familiarize myself with from early as well, which now is a flex, muscle memory, right? So I then went into performing arts and I understood the flow of movements and how releasing it is. Yeah, loads of friends. I learned early the appreciation for cultures, to learn of other cultures within their culture, with authentic culture. Like if I have Russian friends, I would love to experience a Russian event with all their Russian families, with their traditions and rituals. I love that as authentic. Like I love it, but I love my culture first. So I don't compete. I just love it. So
are your parents Christians or
Orthodox?
Okay.
Yeah. My mom, very, very, and my dad, I think he just went along with it. But he taught me to be a world person. He just loves culture. I think I got that from him. He loves authenticity and heart to heart with people. So
I love that.
Oh, girl, and him being the first man to me did everything for me to even have that willpower to want to do anything about it for others. Like, because I would want to wish him just as great as he has taught me I deserve. I wish that for every man as well. You know, like there's this thing, the unfolding. It's just we experience, so we have leverage in our understanding. Not so we can pick up a book that somebody we don't know wrote. Sorry to say it like that.
But I'm also like a bit like a book also came out of somebody's mind. I'm a bit skeptical in terms of worldly knowledge. Was I there? I know it's really ignorant, but
no,
I'm not. I wasn't there, and then I'm sitting here having 4 hour long historical discussions about events. I don't even remember my own birth.
Anything?
Why am I going to argue over something? Like, I don't care. Take it for what you want.
I'm telling you, anything that I am speaking on today, anything that I know to speak on today, I have not read. I didn't source it from anything but within myself.
And it's funny thing when you are so tuned in with yourself and you reach these depths, they're actually universal depths.
Girl,
and people
that's why we're one.
You'll be saying something and somebody's like, oh, it says that in the Bible. Oh, I read that in this book. Oh, this philosopher, this highly accredited lecturer said that. And they're like, oh, have you read the book? How do you know that? I'm like, it comes from there.
Yeah.
Because that's where truth really comes from.
Absolutely. Since my father has passed away in the summer.
Oh no, and sorry to hear.
But we had, yeah. I'm sorry as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have too much appreciation for the actual experience to say, but I want more. I have too much in the comparison to what is out there. Like I have too much that I've gained from 37 years of being very close and very aware of one another's appreciation of each other, right?
I love that.
Oh, girl. And then my grandma as well passed away in December. So I feel like life is giving us what we need when we need it. And we have to detach from this overwhelming amount of labels and expectations that has been portrayed to us and trying to shame us on. Because we're just copy pasting experiences and complaining about not having the desirable outcome because we are not intentional with who we are in it.
You know what I mean? We want from it.
Like if you speak on divine time, we have to be the divinity in the time for it to be in alignment, for us to be even present to see it. Because it's happening and can't just go right past us. We just didn't do that. But it was there. And that can keep happening until you're ready. That's how your mother, source, energy, creator is trying to provide, just like a mother does. We're not going to be conditional with our love, or we shouldn't be. We will be unconditional, patient, but providing as we do, right? To create good human beings, we have to be that good human being to them. Our creator is the same with us. So it's been patient, but we deserve to tap into it. So it's not going to be comfortable, so we don't settle on nonsense, right? So that's what I advocate for. Like, don't complain about things that are been happening for so many time if we're doing what has been done to create that. You know, like if we always complain about the guys, the man, and just say they're that, cards are trying to come out.
Yeah.
Then we will have that experience because we're portraying what they're complaining on. Like, we're not getting respect, but we're not giving respect.
I mean, that whole respect thing. Sorry, I'm still.
Don't worry.
I think. Yeah, perfect. I think the whole respect thing, I never used to get that from a young age. Is like,
what's respect thing?
The respect thing of like demanding respect from others. It's like I don't. Well, I never understood that concept, because I always thought I respect myself, and if I respect myself, there's nothing even that comes. And even if I experience disrespect from people, because the disrespect, when you respect yourself, a disrespect can only be surface level. You will never have somebody super close in your life that disrespects you, because they don't even, if you respect yourself, they don't even come that close. So if you respect yourself and somebody disrespects you, that means it's actually a stranger. No, otherwise it must be.
In my life, it's not. So it's been the closest ones.
But then.
And I'm saying, like, all the people that are very near and dear.
Yes.
The nearest and dearest are the ones that felt entitled the most. Because they were there to observe the whole evolving and the transcending. And they were like, no, you're not allowed. What makes you different now?
Hold on. But you know what I realized? And that's something that my mom taught me from a young age.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to redefine it, because what I want this platform to be about is about redefining as well. And one thing is, what is the meaning of respect to you? Because for me, respect is about treating somebody the way I want to be treated.
Yes.
But then sometimes when you realize people's disrespect is realizing that they don't know how to respect themselves. And that's why they come over to you and treat you like that. And then I realize, this is a you problem, sir. Unless I feel super triggered, then it's also a me problem.
And yes, when you say, treat people the way you want to be treated, sometimes people are not even seeing clearly how they treat people, which is why
they treat themselves like that and they're used to that.
No, that's their torture. If you don't know how to actually have integrity, you'll not meet that. We cannot expect everybody to be our mom and dad, right?
That's what I'm also
that
thinking.
Child self's coming through. But how I see respect, because I respect myself now as an Eritrean, as a woman, as part of coming from Germany, learning, having to adjust, all this stuff that just served me to learn about humanity, because I have mission. I have a very strong mission that I have to take accountability for, because I've been given the wisdom. I've been given the timeline, the orchestration, the gifts, the look. Let me not lie. It's meant to be opening up a door. It's meant to be elevating on a different form, because it's meant to serve first and foremost. I'm not going to walk around and just become like a man eating something, because my life will groom me to a specific vessel of a being that matches my spirit.
Life, I love how you said that life will life will fucking groom you.
Yeah.
Because when you're getting off your path of your purpose, life will throw so much pain and discourse to you.
Yeah.
You will not stay there.
But that's the love of a parent.
But this is what I love about Yoruba religion or culture, because the essence of it talks about how God is actually sometimes.
I don't know enough about it.
I know a little bit about it, and I watched and I read upon it that God will actually sometimes look like the devil as well, because when you come off your purpose, the discourse God will throw towards you to stay on that destiny and that purpose.
Yeah.
You think it's the devil, but it's not.
Girl,
you came here for a purpose. If you don't fulfill it, then it's your problem. But you're gonna come here and you're gonna be keep on being put into that direction if you want to or not. Because
Can
that's what you chose to do.
Because of my example of my experience,
yes,
has given me the wisdom for that aspect.
Yes.
I have erupted a lot of earthquakes with just walking through the road.
Yeah.
I can feel how the spirit sometimes they don't even know why they have to ask me something. They're going to be triggered because they deserve to overcome that. And having to have that responsibility is not easy. As a woman, is not easy. But we have to take accountability, because as I go through certain experiences, and I will roar if you check. Like, if you try me in my being of my highest form, there's a reason why I'm a fire sign in my moon. There's a reason, and it's there to bless you. Because when the mom shouts, it's not because she hates the child. it's because the child is doing some foolishness and it's not being even respecting themselves. And if you go out like that, it's going to be dangerous. Now, if I can be family like that to somebody who I don't even know, because that's what I am being when I'm in service. Everyone's my extension. In fact, we're one. Because what I am is only because you are there. Usually I could be in a bar having a nice drink, listening to music, because I don't have to do this. It doesn't give me anything. But as I go and I detach, because I've just attached and I showed my vulnerability and I was honest and authentic and respectful to your intelligence, that's giving love to me. I move, and then I will be complimented with the most beautiful orchestration of the day. I'm not going to be that. I keep getting calls from people and they're like, girl, are you okay? Like, I've seen your post. They don't comment on this because of how that would expose their mindset. I understand there, but we have to take accountability for what's not going right. Now, they will check me and be like, are you fine? Like, you're right? It's like, is there something going on at home? They're worried, but I'm so good. I'm so in bliss. And everybody who's doing likewise things, they know. They're just calling to share the joy. They've seen my post, but they're not worried because they understand how that release, what that means. What you're actually doing, what karma you're creating. And I'm being blessed left, right, and center. I'm so abundant, it's mad. Like, you just gave me a scarf. I have so many scarves, sis. I have so many scarves. Maybe I do an event where I just lay it all out.
Yeah.
But you're giving me a scarf that I would have desired. And it's cultural. You don't know how you ticked my boxes. No, and I came with an exchange.
Because I thought about it the other day before we met up. And then I remembered the scarf. And I looked at it. I was like, that's your scarf. It's not my scarf.
You know what? I'm going to wear it now.
It's just, anyways.
I am going to wear it now.
It's literally your scarf. It's not my scarf.
Because
I remember when the lady gave it to me. Because it was a gift.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I was looking at it. And I'm like, and I remember thinking, this is not my scarf.
Oh, you see.
And then when I thought of you the other day, it was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I was looking in the mirror, and the mirror reflects the scarf
on
the back.
It's
and
I was like,
on
now.
It's your scarf.
Now it's gonna happen. This is a cultural dress of my country, Eritrea and Ethiopia. This was my mom's dress.
This is beautiful. And I like how it shows the waistline. Because, I always show body.
I don't really have waistline like that. That's why I love having children, because it gives me a nice shape. And I feel womanly. But I'm womanly in all seasons.
Listen, I want to talk about this. It's been itching me for like the whole time now.
I hope I can speak.
It's a bit wet still from the
That's
rain,
all right.
so
But, girl, wait. Let me just represent. Because I've got this beautiful, from Kenya, you said?
It's from Kenya, yes.
Guys, anybody in Kenya wants to invite Orange for something, please do. I feel like
I want to go to Kenya so badly.
Let's do something there. Because I have a Kenyan sister. Girl, you know.
Yeah, Mikhail, this is why he told me about. That was anyways divine timing, isn't it? But yeah, what I wanted to ask
wait. Because this, wait, this thing, because I made it. I got to be my whole orange self, right? Hold on. This is also part of authenticity. Don't hold back. Don't feel any way about being fabulous.
Yeah.
Because that's like people on the road.
Yeah, you gave me that.
Girl, the way people on the road are bigging me up and I big them up, and we go like high of love. We didn't drink. That exchange of genuine love, because we just appreciate, we don't compete, but we don't know each other, and that's becoming a problem. Why can't we do that with people you know? Why are we competing now? Why? Well, I hope you're not competing with me, because I'm not competing with you.
No.
But if I'm rich, if I'm going to make it rich, and I'll make you rich, because I'm abundant. Like, there's limitlessness in doing what's right. And you have to be there to hold space. And I hope the whole world will once bask in that, because our creator is trying to provide that. People are just shit scared.